If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And tonight, we're back on a Wednesday. No huge news out of the Wheel of Time accounts, but Watt series I feel like has been breaking news every day for the last week or two. So there's a lot to talk about there. But as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we're going to be talking about first look theories, doing a deep dive into maybe some of my loony theories and some of those from my guests. So without further ado, so grateful to be back here hosting with my two wonderful friends, Joe from Ter'angreal and Brian, the genius. I don't know. Do we call you the genius still? I don't know. Is that a thing? Has the genius kind of jumped the shark? Is the genius over? Is it over?
Kind of over.
It's over. Brian from Barside Chats, Theoryland, all things here at the Dusty Wheel. So you guys got to jump in. Brian, you didn't spend as much time last Wednesday when all the stuff dropped, kind of like following everything. But Joe, you did, I think, on Wednesday. You were following all the news that happened, all the drops for the release date, all the first look photos. Joe, what was your, I guess, first recollection of what you saw? Like, what's the first thing that hit you? You were like, wait, that is something I think I either recognize or that interests me the most.
Well, the first thing I thought was I was right because I've been saying September for a while.
I got you.
So that was my first thing. It was actually funny.
Yeah.
I was actually at work in the office on a Wednesday, and I was in a meeting, and Tom comes over to me because Tom was in the office too, and he's just like, I'm in the meeting, and he's like holding his phone up to me, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh.
I like that he's like, there's more important things to do right now. And and here they are. Yeah, for those of you, I saw someone in chat saying, like, I missed everything. You know, obviously we are talking about these images, correct? We will dive deep into them and talk theories as it relates to these images. This one, perhaps the wildest image of them
Yes,
all.
most surprising. By sure, that was it. I was like,
I can't wait to talk about those. Brian, did you have a favorite of the 8 first look images? Was there one that stood out to you the most?
Yeah, I mean, I love the one with Eula Smart as Avienda. I think that was the one that grabbed my attention because I think it's the first time we've seen Avienda like in action.
Sure.
And I really was really.
Maybe we don't know if the behind the scenes. I think we are
That's
seeing
true.
her. We're seeing her like flip away from the white cloak. But yes, the first time we have her face on with a spear.
Face on with it,
Yeah.
and it's like cool. And she looks cool, and she got like the eyeshadow or mascara or whatever that is, and like she looked really cool. I was like captivated by that particular shot. Plus, I have some interesting theories about that shot, so we can talk about that when we get there.
We're getting there. We're getting there, everybody. There's actually a lot of new news to talk about. So we're going to do that first. Yes, we're going to make you wait. As a reminder, this show contains spoilers. Actually, let's not do that one. Let's do the full book spoilers, everybody. Full book spoilers. Just so in chat, this isn't like these deep dives that we do are talking about theories. We're covering the arcs of characters, why they would show up certain places. As I always remind you, we're not going to go out of our way of ruining the entire book. We're not covering A Memory of Light tonight, but something might come up in chat. Someone might connect something that they saw on a photo, some type of Easter egg. So just expect in chat, you'll get full book spoilers. Again, if you're just listening to this later, you're not watching chat, we're not going to go out of our way to ruin the books. We're going to probably stay pretty close within the first 4, 5, 6 books of the series is my guess. So, okay. Well, before I jump in, because I have some fun images I exported a ton of images to zoom into tonight. But of course, like I mentioned, Watt series is doing its thing that they do. And how can we not talk about this, right? Joe, this is something we should credit Twitter of Time, right? Fans, I feel like, brought this moment that Watt series is putting out there to us. To finally have some confirmation here, right? Well, I guess we're excited to report that award-winning actor Shohreh Aghdashloo, I apologize if I misspoke there or mispronounced the name, was spotted among the cast on a Wheel of Time set in the Czech Republic. Watt series confirmed with multiple sources that Aghdashloo was on the set for season 3 filming. So, I mean, I have to ask everybody, let me end this poll. About 200 of you voted on this. Theory primer, is Ishamael visible to everyone in that season 2 first look photo? Keep in mind this answer. We're not going to cover that right now. Visible to everyone, 56%. So there's some disagreement as far as like, can everyone see this character or not? Just Suroth, 23%. Visible only to viewers of the show, 15%. What first look photo? 6%. Well, if you asked what first look photo, hopefully you stuck around and saw that briefly. We will get back to that one. Joe, let's ask everyone, who is Shohreh playing?
all right.
I mean,
so
everyone wants to be Cadsuane, right? So we have to put Cadsuane because that's the one everyone pushed, right? So, but what's your theory on this?
So there was mention that she was filming on a set that had the Lions of Andor dressed on it.
Ooh, okay.
In some sort of castle or palace. So they think that this could be the royal palace in Camelin. So I'm not sure what Cadsuane would be doing there in season 3, although they could introduce Cadsuane early. Another option is possibly Elida. I would like to say, though, you mentioned how Twitter Time kind of willed this to happen, right? Somebody had added Rafe or something like that a while ago, a couple of years ago about this, and he said that he already had her in mind or had her as a headcanon for a character already. I think he said his dream board or his mood board or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So he already had an idea for her. I don't know if that was Cadsuane though.
Yeah, so that's. Well, do you have? I mean, I know you put out this line that I've highlighted here. Watt series doing the lights work out here. The show filmed scenes in the ornate hall of the ancestors, where the banners of the White Lion were on display, suggesting this is somewhere in Andor, likely the royal palace in Camelin. Let's go with that. I'm seeing people say Elida. I know a lot of people want Elida to be someone else, and have reason to maybe believe that Elida is part of season 2. So do you think there's any chance this is Elida?
I think there's definitely a chance. I would have thought she would have been introduced in season 2, but I mean, they could be holding her back and kind of putting that whole Tower coup plot just leaving it straight into season 3, having her in the beginning, and then just maybe ending the season with it. I'm not really sure. I kind of had them ending like the Tower coup happening somewhere in the middle of season 3, but it's possible it could be towards the end of season 3.
By the way, I think Brian has an opinion on this. I saw.
Do I?
I
Yeah,
saw. This,
I do.
I don't know if you noticed.
I don't know if you guys have noticed. I have a countdown to WatCon and Wheel of Time season 2, and a secret
Nice.
message if you pay attention long enough. Yes, I do think there's a pretty good chance that it's Elida.
Wow.
I know that we want to introduce Elida in season 2. It feels like he's maybe critical to the second and third books. But I personally don't think we lose too much by pushing that off to season 3 or book 4, because there's so much other stuff to do in season 2, and maybe adding in Elida is like too much. And so I kind of feel like it's possible that they'll push that out, one more season, and then like start of season 3, you get the Elida presence. Maybe,
I mean, there's
maybe.
this comment from Crazy Cat Lady 42. Since Elida is Rafe's fave character, I say that's who he picked for her.
If I were casting the show
Interesting.
and Showa Agadashi was like a potential casting, I would cast her as my favorite character too. So
He did
She's
say
incredible.
he did say in the JordanCon video that she was one of the most characters he's looking forward to in the future. Like it was almost implying that she wasn't in season 2, but
I kind of think that, yeah.
Okay, well, I know a lot of people think that Elida's already in there, and that Natasha is playing Elida. So I'm seeing a lot of pushback in chat on this. Do you see any possibility this is Forsaken?
I think it's possible. What do you think, Joe?
I mean, you have Camelin. There are some possibilities here. I mean, Ravine, obviously not, but maybe there's not. He doesn't have to be the one that is maybe connected with Andor or Camelin. So, do you think it's possible that Rafe was speaking favorite character as in villain, or no? Is that just really unlikely for you? And by the way, people are mentioning, Joe, I don't know if they're saying your volume is a little bit low. A couple of people are mentioning it. I don't know if it's a lean in or it's a volume up.
I will lean in.
Yeah. So this is the question is, or is there somebody else?
Which Forsaken could she be? Lanfear?
Did you say Lanfear?
Like, could it be? Could
I would
she
totally
be like a
take her
Lanfear
as
in
Lanfear.
disguise cameo?
Not like Sylvie, right? Was that Sylvie who was in the was that land?
In the Teleronriad?
Yeah.
And then it's not like a long-term contract for the show. She just shows up in like one episode for like just to be a fan casted thing, and then goes on with her business.
I mean, so that's again, you could go that. You could go Masana. You could go the Masana route. Although Cadsuane is just who I want her to be. So I'm gonna put Forsaken as the other option here. I don't want to take too long on this. Cadsuane, Elida, Forsaken, and we'll just put other for those of you out there that are just like, you're smoking. She's none of those. So we will put that poll out there. Awesome job, Watt Series. We'll make sure we put the link to this article in the description. If you're not following Watt Series, why? It's just fun news like all the time.
You're missing out.
So yeah, because they even, we won't be covering too much of this other piece of news that they mentioned today. But another scoop today. I think this came out, Wheel of Time season 3. Luke Featherston. I've seen some speculation out there as far as who this is playing. Some people have said Galad by chance. I think I saw maybe this is Luke. That's a possibility. Any favorites before we move on from
Luke?
here?
Yeah.
Luke as Luke.
It's easy. It's easy. I mean, we know Lord Luke's in it, right? We had that Watt Series had put out an article a few weeks back about that audition script that they or audition.
We know
tape they
Lord
found.
Luke's in it.
True.
Yeah.
Could be Luke.
Could be Luke.
Luke
I thought I
Luke
couldn't
as
find.
Luke would hit.
Yeah, I couldn't find the
good.
age of this actor. I think I saw somewhere where he plays 35 to 40 though. So I would think if he's Galad, he might be a little old.
Ooh, some people threw Asmodean out for this character.
That's who I think it could
Asmodean's
be.
interesting.
Asmodean, or if they're gonna do a Ravine, he's a pretty good act. He's a pretty handsome dude to be Ravine and seduce Morghese.
Okay, Ravine.
Pull that off too. I kind of
Asmodean.
imagine Ravine is like older though.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I agree.
Ooh,
I like
by the way,
Asmodean.
it's Cadsuane and Elida. This is it's going back and forth. I'll let this vote. Only about 150 have voted out there. I'll leave that open. See if more votes come in. I was going to ask everyone quickly about this character because we just spit out like 4 possible characters. If you wanted to vote on who is Shora playing, you got to vote now. Got to vote now.
I see Gaul.
Poll. By the way, I always love it when I say something and then I end it within 20 seconds because the delay, the people don't hear me in time to vote. I always feel bad.
I'm seeing some Gaul in the chat. I think Gaul's a possibility. I would think Gaul would be introduced. That's a good question. I would think he'd be introduced already because if he's gonna go with Perrin, right?
Yep.
He would have to be introduced in season 2, maybe.
I think Gaul's already introduced.
Yeah.
I really do think that. So I don't think it's in Gaul.
Yeah.
It could be Galad, but I mean, everybody in the cast is so attractive that I don't think you can just go like, oh, this is an attractive person. He must be the most attractive guy in the world. Therefore, he's Galad. You can't do that because they're all like insanely attractive people.
And I would think Galad would be introduced in season 2 as well. If they're going to be, if we're getting Elaine and they're going to be in the tower, I would think.
And don't they have that staff fight in season 2? Don't we know that's in?
Yeah, Rafe made mention of that too. That it's probably, he said a form of it will be in the show.
Yeah.
By the way, the 4 options here, real quick, before we jump into the first look theories, everybody: Lord Luke, Asmodean, Ravine, and Gaul, or do we want to use Galad?
Galad.
Galad. Okay, there you go. People who wanted Gaul. That's what. Ooh, no, Miss Sarah James just said, have you seen the black and white still of Luke that someone put on Twitter? No, I haven't. Yeah, send me the link.
Yeah,
just
so
DM me that.
There's a really great picture of him. He looks like Yosha.
Oh.
Which makes him a really good contender to be Lord Luke. Because, spoilers, but like Lord Luke and the Luke Izum thing is a relation. I think Luke is a Rand relation.
Or but that's also gives him a possibility to be Galad too.
That's true. Could be both. I don't know.
Yeah, this is we'll see what everyone in chat says.
Oh, I think I know what picture you're talking about. I think I found it. Okay,
everyone, it is time to jump into a little theory bonanza here with our pictures that we have. This is gonna be a lot of fun. The first one up, in my mind, I want to break this one down first, and we can jump from there, everybody. So, first up is this one with Moiraine. Yes. Flicker Falme. That's right. You're wondering how I got there. Costumes, Kyrian, and an ocean view. Flicker Falme? That's the question we have to us today. And the reason I bring this up it has a lot to do with her costume. And if you recall, right, this is the costume we're all talking about, everyone. This is the look, right?
Yep.
Is this the same costume as this?
Yeah.
Look at the arms. Look at. Yes, it's not. The color might look a little off. If you recall, do you all recall where that image came from? That's from the BTS, right?
Yeah. Now, isn't there also another shot of her walking on the beach with Lan without the blue top on, with just like a white blouse?
Joe, it's almost like you read my mind. There is.
It's almost like I've watched these thousands of times.
Right. It's almost like you've seen. Yes, everyone, we are zooming in to this one, give you a better view. I haven't even looked to see what chat is saying, what's their first reaction. There is the look that's kind of a little far away. If we look at the collar itself, look at the arms. Okay. And
the belt. I don't see the belt though.
Yeah. The chat seems to say yes. Most people are saying yes. A couple people saying no.
Most people are yes, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me end our Lord Luke. 151 of you voted. Lord Luke did win the poll from Luke Featherston.
Team
Luke and Luke.
Luke for Luke.
Asmodean. Are these the same dresses?
We got Luke for Luke, and then we've got Mel for Mel. So we got some good hashtags going on here.
Okay. So let me ask everyone that question. I'm sensing some doubt here. Let's again kind of have these. Maybe I can put these images. We can
you
go
put them
back
side by
and
side?
forth to them. I don't have like a side by side, but I will be able to go back and forth to these two. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
You flicker back
Right.
and forth.
Oh yeah, exactly. So you look at the arms and look at the kind of the white. Now, the arm on the white itself, or the white on the arm, looks similar to this.
Yeah, it gets puffy right up the sleeve, just like both of them have that.
Right.
Same...
They kind of have that puffiness. Not that she doesn't have maybe similar outfits. Is she wearing? It's kind of hard to tell there, everyone, if she's actually wearing the. Let me grab.
Doesn't
the
look
other
like
one.
she's wearing the belt though.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like
that's-
she's wearing a belt, but it does look like she's wearing something else. The shawl on the beach.
yeah. Let me. Here we go. Let me get that beach
She's got
one
like
again.
a shawl or something around her neck. And I think it looks like it makes the dress look totally different, but I do think it's the same dress.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It
But I
feels
don't
like
see
the
belt.
same
You're right. The
dress
arm's
to
kind of
me,
in the way.
right?
It's hard to see, but
It's kind of hard to tell. There could be some kind of
Could be. It
belt
could just be a
design right
crease.
there because you just can't see it. But okay, so now that you've all seen that, we will do the shot that Joe asked for. Yes, that's Joe. You knew we couldn't not get. We had to
Yeah.
dig
one-
deep, right, man?
I didn't plan to
so-
ask that question. Matt just was ready for it.
I was not prompted. That's right. I mean, I had the same exact question as you did, right? And
Now, is
so-
that other video? Is that the sneak peek, the other one, or is this from the same video?
This is from the behind the scenes one. I thought this was behind. This might be the sneak peek here. I think you're
This
right.
one, yeah.
So
This
this
one,
is as
yeah.
far as I can zoom in, everyone. You'll notice now we kind of laughed because we're like, oh, this new dress she had didn't have shoulder pads. But if it is like if she has the kind of the shawl kind of thing that's covering, I'm sure people in chat will be like, there's a name for it. Takes that off.
That's a
maybe
neck
that
pillow
is.
when you're on a plane. That's what that is.
She,
You're trying to take a nap, dude.
So, yeah,
It's a
and she
horse
is.
pillow.
People are noting. It looks like she's obviously disheveled on the beach. Obviously,
Yeah.
more put together, if you will, on the shot. Oh yeah, because I zoomed in, you can't see that one.
Now, I wouldn't, this wouldn't be the first time that the show keeps the characters or actors in the same costumes for a lot of episodes. So,
Well, I was going to say that it wouldn't be. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up, okay, and I know you're wondering, how do we get to Flicker Falme here? Two pieces of this story. One is there were episode titles released. Well, not released, I guess. Found. They were found. Well done. Is it Camille that did it? Yeah.
Camille.
Rational Nerd found it. Congratulations. And one of those, if I'm not mistaken, what could be, was that one of them? What was the name of that?
What might be.
What might
What
be.
might be.
What might be. Now, that certainly could be tied to the testing. But we all kind of wonder how they're going to get to Falme. We know, obviously, you look at the beach here. We know that Moiraine and Lan have to make it out to Falme, right? Is there anyone here? Do either of you believe that Moiraine and Lan will not go to Falme? No.
I don't
Okay.
think that.
So, and we also know that Moiraine is going to go to Cairhien. So she has to get from wherever she's at to eventually get into Cairhien. We know this is Cairhien on this shot. Don't we know this because Sarah was in chat? And didn't Sarah say something like, "This is Cairhien"? I thought that's what happened, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's Cairhien. I mean, compared to, again, looking at the other footage that we've gotten already, the BTS footage and the sneak peeks, we've seen this set. This looks like the set with the explosions going on, right? The fire bursts and Rand walking through with the torch, right? It all looks like the same set. And we know Maureen's going to Cairhien because Rosamund Pike said it herself.
Well, yeah, we know she's going to Cairhien, right? So tell me this. How does she get to Falme? If her journey is to Cairhien, and that's where a significant part of their act is going to happen, Rand and Moiraine will eventually meet up. We see Rand kind of disheveled a bit, but later on we see him in the red coat. And then we know Rand makes it out there. Joe, how does Moiraine get to Falme?
Through a Waygate.
Through a Waygate. Correct.
No. I'm just kidding.
No, but
just
we've
kidding.
seen a Waygate by a beach. So we know there's a Waygate by the beach. We
That's true.
know that in the BTS footage, I thought it was the BTS footage, they showed kind of a prominent, Waygate, if you will. We know there's Kyrian scenes. We know that Rand and Moiraine both make it out to Falme. Brian, do you believe it's going to be a time skip? They're just going to like journey a long way across the world?
What I think is going to happen is they're going to have a map of the world, and Moiraine is going to jump into a little tent on the back of Daniel Henney's Land's back, and then they're going to run across the map, and then they're going to wind up in Falme, and they're going to look at it and they go, "How did we get there before everybody else?" And he's going to say, "By all accounts, it doesn't make sense." And that's how they get to Falme.
That's how they get to Falme. Okay, I think it's totally unrealistic to believe. I think even I swear that I thought even Rafe even made kind of talked something about how the traveling, all these people are split up. Mm-hmm. The idea that we are going to see them cross the world from Kyrian to Falme, to me, as far as like by land, is ridiculous. Like there's no chance. I don't believe it 100%. Has to be Waygate or a portal stone or some other means similar to that. And with that chapter title, and as much as they focus on Waygates, that's the question I have for you. That's the theory. That's a loony theory, perhaps. Do you believe they're going to use a Waygate, but it's going to actually have portal stone-esque capabilities, or the way that they use it? Maybe Rand channels into it. Something happens when he attempts to use a Waygate, and they get carried through, but it gives us the kind of the flicker world. Do you think we're going to get a Waygate transport that gives us flickers, that gives us portal stone-esque travel, similar to what we got in the books?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why I think we're going to get flicker. I've been actually, spouting that we're not going to get that scene because you don't really need it. You don't really need that scene. And I imagine it's a difficult scene to do. But here's the thing, right? We've gotten chapter titles for the first season, and they were often misleading, but not always. But I think Rafe is aware that the flicker scene is like a fan favorite, and it's a huge, scene that everybody in the fandom loves. And I don't think he would allow them to use this chapter title, which is the chapter title of the flicker sequence, what might be. I don't think he would allow them to use that chapter title and then not put it in there, because fans would be pissed.
Okay. So let me end this. About 173 of you at this point have voted. Are these the same dresses Moiraine is wearing? Which I love that we get into this whole fashion discussion. 57% said yes. 43% said no. There's still a lot of disagreement about if she is wearing the same. And the reason why I was saying that was it would make more sense than she takes 3 months across the world and is wearing maybe the same outfit. Not that they have a problem having her wear the same outfit from place to place in the first season. But
I have a question
Brian,
for you about this theory. Do you think is your theory of the flicker purely based on how to get from Kyrian to Falme? Or I was thinking, like, in part, it looks weird because her dress looks very like kimono inspired compared to the first season. And maybe that's like a flicker Kyrian where she's in an alternate world wearing a different dress.
Gotcha. Oh, you're saying that maybe some of these images perhaps are in the flicker worlds, if you will.
I mean, that's what when you first brought the theory up, that's what I thought you were going with it. That's not what I heard. So
okay. So yeah, I didn't go down that road, but I would not be surprised if they gave us a shot from what could be, right? I think we've gotten some images from Nynaeve's testing.
Yep.
So, where it kind of it's misleading when you can actually just like insert images that have to do with like not the actual world that it's working in. What should the question be to our audience before we move on from this one? Will Moiraine travel to Falme by Waygate, or do you think we want to focus on will Waygates have a Portal Stone-esque flick? Will we get a flicker
how will
segment
we get
of the show?
flicker through the acceptance test, Portal Stone, Waygate, backpack map?
How will we get flicker? There we go. By Waygate, Portal Stone. You threw in the testing. Huh, that's an interesting idea.
Or not at all.
Or not at all. We won't.
Or not at all.
Okay. Cool. Let me ask everyone that. I want to point out one little thing that I did notice because I put a lot of time into this freaking image, so we're going to cover it. Which is, this is, man, I did a lot of work to try to get this particular image of Rand, which you can see Lan is behind him. And I just want to note,
smiling.
I want to note that I did some tests on height originally for this image, and that is the correct height next to Lan for Rosamund Pike, for Moiraine.
Interesting.
However, I don't see the Kisera. Not that we have to, but you'd think that you would see it. Maybe there'd be some kind of, maybe it's there. Maybe I'm wrong. Holy cow. Let's get way zoomed in here, everybody.
Well, if you look though, Matt, on the photo, the first look photo, like it's really woven into her hair pretty well.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. There does seem to be actually like a shadow right in the middle.
Yeah. If you go 3 pixels over, you can definitely see it.
But no, what I'm saying is like, right, you see what you think are just kind of the color of her face, and then there is right at the kind of spot where you'd assume it would be, there is a kind of darker break there that could be just a random artifact of the image itself. But okay, at first I was like,
Chad
oh man,
just pointed out she doesn't always wear the Kisera.
She doesn't. But I would have assumed on their way to whatever this is, they do look. I don't know. Rand looks happy. Rand's all dressed up like they're going somewhere. This would have been a scene I would have expected, or maybe.
You think Rosamund's contract allows her to be behind
behind Rand
and not visible?
They're probably going to a party. They're probably going to Barthanesus for the party.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I have no idea, but
let's see what people are saying about this one. Wow, there's still a lot of hope for Portal Stones. You guys are amazing. I love the hope. These are my favorite kind of shows to do all the way up until the season because there's so much hope in fandom. There's so much hope, and it's there.
All comes crashing down once the season's released.
Then the season comes out, and they're like, "Man, why didn't you give us Portal Stones?" There's a 34%. That is a lot. That's like a third of total here. I think that represents a lot of hope. By the way, bellied by 24% saying we won't. There's the pragmatists out there just accepting no. But the Waygaters, 27%. I like that. Brian, your testing idea got 16%, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, no, that was pretty good. I saw an idea or a question here, and maybe we take a moment and gird our loins together. Sarah did just point this out on Twitter. Gird our loins for season 2, basically. I have to go back. If anyone has the exact quote from Sarah's tweet, I'd love to post that. Are you ready, Brian, for more of the same changes?
My loins have been girded. They were girded a long time ago. I have to re-gird them every once in a while, but they're girded and they're ready to go.
Are your loins girded? Let's find out.
I think every season you ask this question, right?
Double girded. There we go. Not enough. I refuse to gird. There we go. There you go, everyone. By the way, I know it's 7:37. Oh, that's my time. 9:37 Eastern. I want to point this out.
EDT, not EST, for all
however
of you.
However that works. I don't know. By the way, this is a live call and talk show. So you can give us a call at 1-313-825-5968. That's right. 1-313-825-5968. I didn't even test if it was going to work tonight. I'm going with the fact that it's going to work. It's going to work, everybody. And if you have a strong belief about Moiraine's outfit here, the Waygate flickering, if she's wearing a Kisera behind Rand, give us a call. Here is the next category. That's right. Next category of theories that we're tackling tonight is Rand fights alone. Jedi Rand embroidered on his collar, Falme, and his fight with High Lord Turok. That's right. Rand fights alone. That's the question I have for you. Joe, I have this question because we see this happen in season 1. Do you recall, like in season 1, In the book, everybody runs to the eye of the world, right? And then like 2 Forsaken show up, and Rand runs off, and then they all kind of think they're going to fight Forsaken. The Green Man gets a good shot in, admittedly.
Yeah, he kills one.
So yeah, he gets him. But the rest are kind of like a bunch get knocked out and everything like that, right? Like you don't see that in the show, and I think there was this idea of, well, don't send everyone to do. It's like dumb visually to just have everyone go with Rand and have Rand be the only one that fights. So we just get basically Rand alone. And everyone else is kind of doing their own thing. So I have a question for you for season 2. Do you believe that instead of kind of like the whole group of Rand and his friends kind of go in and then they're looking for the horn and they happen to run in and they have this fight and they get out. Do you think this is actually going to be the same kind of approach that Rafe and his team take, which is Rand's doing something on his own while everyone else is doing their thing?
That's a really good question. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to wind up at Falme, right? We're going to get everybody there, but are they going to be separated and doing their own things? I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll start out or at some point be together and then they'll break off just by way of what happens, or the opposite. Maybe they'll be separated and then somehow meet up. I'm not sure. But it looks like Rand is alone at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fun one to talk about because you are the one, I think, that brought this up first. I don't know. I'm going to say you were just because you're my guest tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I did notice the...
You noticed. So we talked about this dude for a long time, and you noticed... Yes, everyone, if we zoom into said dude, let's do that. Let's zoom in. You notice a sword off of his back here. That actually is. This is just a crappy image, apparently. And it does look like he's wearing this kind of cloak over his head. Now, one thing I noted, and I want to talk to you about.
I was going to say
wearing
even better.
Blue jeans and cowboy boots. But
he's wearing blue jeans and cowboy boots.
We were debating, at that time, we were debating whether this was like a crew member or Padden Fane. I remember we're like on 2 theories. But if you scroll to the top of the image, you see the 2 statues and
let me do that, everybody.
And the banners, which are in the same background of that other shot, the first look shot.
Yeah, so let me grab that image.
And then you had to, of course, take it one step further with your insanity and start zooming in on his eyeball.
Shoot, I did not upload that image. Now I'm going to try to. Now, while we're talking, and so I'm going to go find that image right now that you're talking about, which proves out that point. Brian, do you think that is a crew member standing in jeans, kind of like maybe it's Rand's Yosha's double?
It's possible. It's possible. If that was like behind the scenes or like
like it's not actually him.
Prepping the shot or something.
Right.
Maybe they accidentally released it and they thought it was I don't know. The PR teams do weird things. But as far as like, is Rand alone or are they going to separate? Because I didn't get to wait on that part.
Yeah.
There is like a thematic benefit to having Rand fight alone because throughout the books, his whole thing is I have to do this alone. Like he does that for so long, and it's not until very late that he realizes I can't do this alone. And so like to thematically have him end season 1 and season 2 and potentially season 3 alone and not quite winning each time, like something bad happens. He sort of wins and then something bad happens. Like that would reinforce the theme of like, you can't do it alone, dude. You have to have everybody.
You make an extremely good point, which is why I do more strongly now. At first I was like,
welcome.
This works for season 1, but no, thematically it does. That is perfect. And this is the shot, by the way, Joe is talking about. Does that look familiar to anyone from the? That's right from the actual shot that the Wheel of Time dropped. Let me show us
the
that
backdrop
one.
From Rand's.
Yeah,
Jedi Rand.
Jedi Rand, right?
He's just facing the other way.
Randikin, is that what they called it?
Randikin. Oh yeah. That was a good one. I like Randikin. Let me go find these 2. That's right. You can just see it really well, everyone. As you
that's the same one.
As you zoom out.
But is he like is he obscuring that gate? It looks like
Yeah.
maybe he is. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is, because you can see the
Yeah.
things on the side.
I mean, you can
yeah.
almost see just the stuff that's fallen to his right side here. You can see the two things on the side. It definitely, that was a good pickup, Joe, on this. If he's wearing jeans and boots in the shot, that's a problem. That's a
Yeah.
problem. So, and the reason why I brought that up was, I have to bring this piece up. So we assume that they're going to battle out there, correct? Like that's the assumption, right? And that assumption comes from the fact that we have a shot of them. A shot of them standing on that, right? We have this shot and another one. There's another one that's a better shot where they're actually like, isn't Turak kind of like in a pose? He's like holding his hands, like
Oh, yeah,
maybe
yeah,
he's
yeah.
about to
There's
do
another
some kind of
shot.
fight.
From the ground.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in Discord. I got
Okay,
it for you.
yeah,
in
send me
Discord.
that one. The reason why I'm asking this question, I'm asking this because I did a little bit of sleuthing after the fact. You know, once everyone was done on Sunday, I was like, well, I want to have some fun. You know, it's no fun not digging in and looking closer. So, so this wasn't a height comparison, everyone, but maybe you saw this. Maybe you didn't. This was an eye zoom in. Yes, everyone.
You've outdone yourself.
This is nuts. We did this while we were recording, and I started zooming in on the eye, and he goes, "Oh, look, that's the courtyard."
Yeah, so I saw in his eye, kind of like you tell there was like a white looking something on there, right? You zoom in and you can see that. Now, someone kindly pointed out in a reply, like you realize that they can take this
Camera would
shot
be
just
there.
for the camera and they're
Yeah,
just taking
right.
a shot and people can be on their side, right? And I was like, yeah, I get that. But there's no one here. There's no one here in this moment. Yes, if you look to the right, that's right. This is the image kind of pointing to these two sides of the walls, if you will. And then you get that reflected in his eye. So this is just doubling down. And this is that shot of Turok, right? Like maybe prepping. They have their, right? They look like somebody's standing there, right? I would believe that someone is standing there. So I just have to ask, seeing the eye, that's right. Seeing the eye here, seeing the reflection, you know. By the way, I'm going to end 170 voted, are your loins girded? I have to answer this one. 39% said double girded, and 21% of you said I refuse to gird. Like that. We did. I feel like the same 21% said no portal stone. Same around percentage. So, so I have to ask, does Rand battle Turak out in this courtyard, I'll call it? Yes, no.
Yes.
They don't fight. I guess that's the other option. Okay. So everyone's making comments about the eye. Just likes leaving this for everyone to stare at. Look, it's so cool that an eye reflection actually turned out to be something real.
I just want to know the reaction of the people who work on the show when you did that. Just like they probably just like, what could we do?
Well, now they're going to stick a bunch of Easter eggs. There's going to be a shot of Shore, Agdatsu, and there's going to be Ray standing in the camera with his finger, like pointing at the camera right back at you. And
This
they're
was
gonna
just
release that
prep.
as a production still.
This was just prep for Trailer Guide On. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
there you go.
This is what the 12 hours of Trailer Guide On turns into. That's just how this works.
Now
So nice
everyone's
eyes
gonna be looking
there.
at this.
Nice eye there, Joe. There we go. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Nice eye that this was Rand's moment kind of coming in. What a great shot of Rand, actually. I really love the shot itself. What is your answer to this question? Rand definitely fights Turok in this courtyard. Okay, I'm seeing definitely fights Turok in the courtyard. Yeah, I think it was a long shot saying that like that reflection was somehow relevant to the actual scene happening versus just being a cool shot of Rand in the courtyard.
I mean, we know they're both in the same spot, and we know they fight. I think it's logical to connect those two.
Yeah.
Connect those two thoughts.
Now
Look.
we also see shots though, right, in some of the footage of like white cloaks coming in or storming into. So maybe that's why Rand was facing out the door. So maybe like he was there to confront Turok, but then the white cloaks are coming to charge in, so that's why he turned around.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I would not be bothered by that, which is that others come in and they fight the other guards, if you will, and Rand isolates with Turok. But I also wouldn't. This is the one concern I have is Rand is going to fight High Lord Turok in the same way, I guess, technically in the books, but I feel like the books gave him at least some training. Some training. And the show, to the point of season 1, no. Like,
yeah. He's got 7 episodes though, and we were pretty sure there's gonna be a time skip in there somewhere.
And we know with land.
Sure.
Like,
So that's true. It's true.
Like I believe, is it book 3 that opens up with Rand fighting like 5 different dudes at once?
Oh, you're talking about like, yeah. In the Dragon Reborn, you're talking about Dragon Reborn. He ends up fighting a ton of people. Like, yeah,
but he's like training with just a bunch of guys. I mean, maybe that's a later book. I can't remember, but
I can't remember if Dragon Reborn begins that way, but
yeah, in the beginning of the Great Hunt, he's practicing with Lan.
He's practicing with Lan, so which isn't going to happen now because they left.
No, but I think
he's going to be with Lan.
No,
so
I thought
we're going to get some.
I thought Daniel Henney talked about the fact that they would get some training in. I thought that he talked about the fact that he'll end up
immediately because they split up.
No, they won't get it immediately. Right. You're right. What you're saying is not a ton of training. Right. Okay. Yeah. 100. Almost 100.
Point the sharp end at the bad guy. And
by the way, I like it. Ryan Timms, thank you very much. This is the content we all show up for. Yes. I hope everyone's been enjoying these deep dives into these first look photos. About 160 of you voted on this. Does Rand battle Turok out in this courtyard? 90% of you are pretty sure. I feel like 90% of you are pretty hopeful that they have a fight between Rand al'Thor and High Lord Turok. That would be a little bit too close to the books for me. Too close for comfort. Okay, so so where do we want to go? I'll leave this to you, Brian. I have Loial the Spy, Egwene Test 2, or Perrin's Seanchan timeline. Where do you want to go?
Loial the Spy.
Loial the Spy, everybody.
Yeah.
That's right. Loial the Spy? But no, really, what's happening here? Yes, this image, look at his eyes. I like Loial playing a little like he's like he's not telling people who he knows, and he's kind of there just like honoring him or something. And now he's like a spy for his friends. He thinks he's inconspicuous. That's my loony theory, and I'm sticking to it. No, yeah, I mean, this image is, I don't know, controversial maybe isn't the right word, but let's dig into this thing, man. Brian, you said you had for that image itself, you said you had some thoughts. So
it was the other one, but I do have some thoughts.
Oh, this was okay. I thought it was this. I thought this was the one, but no. Okay, we'll get to the other one here.
I think it's crazy. This is a crazy image because this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen in the books, and we're all like, what the hell is going on here? And but it also makes sense, like when you think about it, like Suroth, and she has a master. She talks about who her master is in the books a couple of times. Like it's clearly a Forsaken that she's talking to, and that's now it's clearly Ishamael. So seeing them together isn't totally surprising. Loial being there is super surprising because that definitely doesn't happen in the books. And I actually am a big fan of the spy theory. I think he probably just like. They're trying to. I think they're going to turn the Egwene getting collared into a heist or like a rescue mission. And this is part of the heist. They're sending Loial in to do reconnaissance, or they send him in to go help rescue, and then he got drafted by Suroth to come like, oh, glorious builder, come help us out. I think the plan went wrong, and that's why he looks so nervous.
Okay. I've got to rebut. I want to rebut this. Go for it. I forget. I think it might be the BTS footage. There's a scene, or it might be the season 2 sneak peek. There's a scene of Loial captured, like he's got the ropes around him, and he's like struggling from the ropes.
Yes, that's true.
And we know there's a fight with the Seanchan, with Perrin and that group with the Seanchan. So I think he gets captured. And he could be possibly filling in the role that Bail Doman played, where he was kind of captured and kept as just like a conversation piece.
Oh my gosh, Loial as
That's
and we know
possible.
that
I
we
like
know that
that.
Bail Damon is coming, but Loial as Bail Damon is giving me life.
And he's just there to entertain them, tell stories.
Oh gosh, that's so good. I love it.
Yeah, I like
Man,
that.
this is the kind of night I needed. Thank you both. This has been great so far.
Because we don't even know that Perrin and his group know that Egwene is captured,
Oh my gosh,
right? They're probably still following the horn.
That's true. I mean, it's possible. Well, yeah, I guess it's possible. We don't know when exactly this is happening. This
Right.
could be later in the series, and they've all kind
Well,
of.
actually, we do. Do we know when this is happening?
No,
We do.
this one, yes.
Did they-
So can somebody remind me what episode this is? Yes, say that in chat. And
This
while
is
you,
episode 5.
this is
Okay.
episode 5.
This is episode
so
5
5
only.
is
Oh man,
5
we're gonna
is
be
close enough to have started the heist.
This is episode 5. That is really interesting, actually. So that comes into the Perrin Seanchan story timeline. I want us to move there, but there are
Maybe-
5
maybe
people
they're
waiting
rescuing
right
Gwen.
now.
Maybe they've tracked the horn to Falme, and they think that Suroth has it or something, and they're going to.
That's okay. So yeah, we need to dig into
They're
that
just
one
trying
because
they're trying to steal the horn back.
There's another spy shot, and the one that you want to see later. We've got Masima the spy too. Don't forget, we can get into that
we
one
do have
later.
him seen
yes,
on
we
the
have to get, well, yeah, we have to talk about that one too. And that one comes into the Seanchan Perrin timeline. We have 5 people waiting to call. That means we have potentially some others. Let me bring in some guests as you come in. We might not let you be able to have you stick around for so long just because there's so many people wanting to get in, but we will take these calls as we have them. Here we go. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Great Innkeeper. As always, I raise my glass to you, sir.
Norm!
Brian, my namesake, what's up? And yo, Joe! And of course, everyone in chat.
Oh my gosh. Norm, I have to know, are you a loyal spy heist theory, Looney Theory fan?
Well, of course, he's Daniel Ocean. I mean, come on, duh. You know, that was Brad Pitt. He's one of the two. I mean, he has to be something. So,
Okay, so we are on. So let me give you the option here. We have you for a couple minutes. What is the theory so far about the first look images, or one of your own theories that you wanted us to tackle?
all right. Well, I just want to say real quick that you guys have a lot of time on your hands. And it's not even spring break or summer break for me yet from work. So, wow. So, with that being said, I
be a
think
hater, Norm.
that I'm not being a hater. I'm just anyway. Shura, I also think Shura's going to be Cadsuane. I really hope she's Cadsuane. I can't see her as Elida because I think that's just too much oomph. I think they're setting her up for when eventually Moiraine, quote unquote, no, it says full book spoiler, so I can say this, when Moiraine, quote unquote, dies. So I think they're setting her up now, maybe a little bit in season 3, as the next big female lead to be with Rand. I know, granted, it's a little bit early in the books and stuff, and I get that, but I think that's how they're probably going to set it up. So that's my outlandish way out theory, of course.
Okay, let me ask everybody this. Do you, by the way, I'm going to end this one. Do you like Loial heist spy theory? About 150 I voted on this one. I can't tell if we lost some voters out there with this theory. It went too loony for people. After they saw us inspect the eye reflection, we went too loony on the heist. But 150, just about 150, you voted on this. 56% said yes. Okay, so that's. Wow. I'm guessing it's the
John,
20.
John Myers says Loial is pulling off an Oceanchan 11.
Oh my gosh! Man? Hashtag Oceanchan11 is my favorite thing to come from the show tonight. Okay, Norm's theory is Cadsuane is being introduced in season 3 to take over for Moiraine. Is that reasonable, Norm? Are you okay with that? Okay.
Yes.
So they
Do
could.
you agree?
So I will.
Okay.
That's a
I
good
will
idea.
sit back and listen to you guys. I will sit back and listen to you guys. So you guys have a great
Okay.
evening.
Norm, we will
Bye, Norm.
we will chat about it, man. Thanks for waiting on. It's always good to hear your voice, man. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, sorry guys.
Hey, sure.
I think that's a possibility, right? Because doesn't Cadsuane kind of come out of retirement because of Taim?
Yes.
So they could work that in there where maybe they introduce Taim in season 3, and he shows up. Does he show up at Kyrian or Camelin? I can't remember now. In one of those places, because Rand's constantly jumping back and forth at that point from those
It
two.
would have been. I'm probably pretty sure it's Kyrian. I thought.
They could switch it. Maybe he shows up in Camelin or something, or maybe she runs it.
They can't make changes, Joe. No changes.
I just think it's more odd that she would be introduced while Moiraine's still around. That's the only thing that's odd to me.
I mean, that's not totally odd, but it is maybe a little bit. We don't know exactly. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she comes out. I could see like a Moiraine end of season 3 situation. Does that make sense? Like Doc's end of season 3. Whether or not they actually give us that version of it in the book version of that in their adaptation, I can see that.
That's a good question. I mean, do we know if they're filming in order? 'Cause they've been filming for 8 weeks now, right? 10 weeks?
Oh, you're saying, no, we don't know for sure, but typically they do them in the, what do they call those things? The blocks. That doesn't mean it's always in order, but.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's always. Because I was going to say, if she's just now been spotted, it's kind of late in the filming process. I don't know.
Interesting idea. Yeah. Norm, we have your theory out there so far. Let's see if people have returned to the theory fold. About 120 of you voted on this. Do you agree Cadsuane is being introduced in season 3 to take over from Moiraine? There's a lot of conflicted voting tonight, everyone. 55% to 45%. I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing some strong. People just are like, yes, Rand is going to fight Turak in the courtyard. That's about what we've all agreed on tonight. Let me bring our next caller into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
This is the master of the deck.
The master of the deck. It has been a long time since we've chatted this way.
It has. I have not called into the show in quite some time.
So I am going to just give it to you here. What is the question? Tell us. So the floor is yours. What is the question you have for us?
Do you think that Ishamael is all up in everybody's dreams, just like he was last time?
Ooh,
because
season 2,
to
you
me,
mean? Yeah.
Yes, because to me, this seems like a convergence in Falme, in the same way that Tyr is a convergence in The Dragon Reborn, and that Rand has been lured there by Ishamael, and that Moiraine and Lan get wind of it somehow, and that is why they go and meet him there, or on the way.
You and your Malazan convergences.
Look, I'm just using the word. It's very applicable. Yes, you are correct, Brian.
I like it. That is a good question. Joe, what's your answer?
I agree 100%. Master of the deck is right.
Really? Okay,
because we do see a scene, right, with him and Rand talking in one of the clips we get. They're in that room.
Well,
right?
And then there's also that shot of him like hanging up on that cross. That seems like a dream sequence to me.
Yeah.
Like, a bit kinky, but Ishamael, look at him. He's all
that one has
up.
to be. Yeah. I mean, that one has to be that you kind of see him outside of what seems like maybe like Rand is in. Like, I definitely believe we're going to see Ishamael at night outside of wherever Rand's staying in Kyrian, and maybe he's staying in the Foregate at first. And I could definitely see that he's dreaming there, and we get Ishamael kind of getting into his dream or messing with his dream. I love the idea, though. I didn't connect this immediately to what you said, Mash the Deck. You're saying maybe that shot of Ishamael. Do you think that is an actual dream sequence shot? Is that what you're saying? And kind of
that is what I'm saying is that if Ishamael is trying to lure Rand into another confrontation, which we do get in both Tyr and in Falme in our books, that having that sort of precedent from the books that when Rand goes on his psychotic break on his way to Tyr, when he leaves Moiraine and everybody in the early events of The Dragon Reborn, that what we're getting here is that concept that Ishamael is trying to get him there for a purpose, whatever that purpose might be, and that everyone else, the Malazan thing, the convergence we're getting is that Falme is just where everything goes down.
Okay.
And he could also be using, if Egwene is captured at some point prior to this could also be another lure for him. Like, oh, come get your girl.
So, Brian, are you a fan of this theory?
Yes, because it fits Ishamael's MO, especially in season 1, of using dreams to influence things. I wonder how much we're going to see of him as Balsamon with the eyes of fire monster thing, and how much we'd see of him. Like, are we going to see any of him in any dreams, or are we going to? I don't know. I think it works.
I think we will see him kind of teasing out things that he knows are happening in Seanchan, like Egwene being there, maybe even like showing. It's an interesting question. Is that whole scene where we see like, you remember Loial, like you said, wrapped up in the ropes? And everyone was like, they caught off guard with that image. Like, it was a really stark image of an Ogier being treated like. I wonder if that sequence of that fighting that's going on and Perrin being pulled on the ground, if that's a dream sequence that they see kind of. Anyways, now it's making me wonder kind of like what is real and what is a dream, I guess. Mash of the deck. Oh, yeah.
Doubt everything. Nothing is true.
Yeah. Match of the deck, thank you so much for calling in. It's awesome to hear your voice, and thank you for the question. I have one question for you before you go.
Sure. Yes.
Does Rand fight Turok in the courtyard?
I think Rand is there to kill Ishamael, and Turak is in his way.
Okay. You got it. Well, thank you very much, Match of the deck. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Later, folks.
Later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Let me end this poll, everyone. About 170 of you. You're back. You voters are back. Thank you so much. 170 vote on the Do You Agree? Cadsuane is being introduced in Season 3 to take over from Moiraine. It is basically a 50-50 split. People
These have been
love
really
it.
tight polls, most of them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of surprised here. Will, do you agree? Will Ishamael use dreams to get Rand to Falme? Yes or no?
Like, does it make sense for Loial to be tied up and be walking behind Suroth and Ishamael in the same reality? Like, one of those has to be a dream sequence, right?
Well, that's so. Well, this is a good question, which is when do these things happen? And so maybe it's time. I feel like we did not spend nearly enough time on this image, everybody. But I think it's just because we're like. But I have to know this. We asked this question at the very beginning. Remember the poll? We asked, is this basically is Ishamael visible to everyone or just people who are watching the show? The other theory here was Lanfear masquerading as Suroth.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you a fan of this theory, Brian? Do you like? Do you? No. Yes. No?
I don't think I'm a fan of it because Surath is like a real person with real motivations and real story stuff. Not like Else Crenwell or Sylvie, who are just like they pop up just for the laughs, I guess. But Surath is like a real person with power and does that. And so I kind of think they're two different people. And not to mention, I don't really think that she and Ishamael would get along.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, I need to see whatever
I agree.
Suroth's wearing and on her feet there. It's unclear. But check these things out. These little lifts. Yeah. Nice.
Like platforms.
These platforms, yeah. And honestly, Ishamael, that's pretty sad. I mean, you look at this outfit he's out on, and then it's like he stole Perrin's boots or something. That's
Payless boots.
I mean, I think everyone wasn't focusing on these, whatever these are that he's wearing, because of Loial's feet, honestly.
Yeah, they're Loial's dinosaur feet back there.
I'm pretty sure no one was really like focused on the fact that Ishamael was like, did not spend enough time on his boots. That as much as clear. There's a lot, I'm sure, to break down with this image. We're just not going to have the time, everyone, on this one. We're going to jump. That's right. We're going to jump to... Brian, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this was the other image that you were not talking about. Was this it, though? Did you want to talk about this one? Is that what you were talking about? Okay, cool. From Searching for Fane to standing by Aviendha. How does he get here? Like, that is the ultimate question. And we know about this image, everyone. The most important piece of data we have about this image is that it's from episode 8. That's correct, right? Mm-hmm. I'm seeing some. I am Joe. Thank you very much for being on top of what episode each of these is from. Okay, so let me get that image for us all to kind of stare at, if you will. We are zoomed in. That's right. So I think one of the things you guys all noted here was Masema was dressed. I did not notice this when Brian showed me this image at first. I did not notice that he was in Seanchan armor. So good on you all. He's definitely dressing up there. Does anyone have a doubt that this is Loial's arm right here? Everyone?
Kind of has to be Loial's arm.
Yeah. Are we agreeing that's Loial's arm?
Like it's a pretty big hand.
Yeah. Like
the fabric's pretty similar. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So Loial standing next to Masema, and then you have this awesome shot of Aviendha with the spear here, seeming in the process about to chuck this, and blood kind of everywhere, all over her costume here.
Bet you it's not hers.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And then we have Perrin kind of standing here, right? This is. I
laugh at that. I'm sorry, because everyone looks like they're ready to throw down, and Perrin's just like, "What's going on?
What's going on?"
I know there's got to be a reason, right?
There's probably a supercut like Jack from Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, where he's just like, what for like 15 minutes. There's probably a supercut of Perrin that's just like,
So I don't know here. Oh, someone was pointing out, who just said this in chat? Did they say Perrin was? Is this the outfit that Perrin has on? Kind of like we see him in the same outfit earlier on, and like when they're looking at the. I thought we see him in the same outfit before the Seanchan. Am I wrong in that? I thought that's true.
That's what he's wearing in the door drawl shot.
The door drawl shot, right?
Yeah, and when he's walking with the Seanchan, not the Seanchan, when he's walking with the Shinarans.
Okay.
In the BTS footage, yeah, I think it's the same outfit.
So we have to start asking some questions here, and I want to show this other image. I posted this to Twitter. Lauren was like, "What are you asking with this image?" I was like, "I'm sure I'm asking something really."
What are they looking at is the question, right? That's what is Aviendha ready to throw at?
Okay, so here's a group of images we have of Perrin from a variety of. I want to laugh with you. I know. Look, you have to ask yourself these questions. At least I do. Obviously, he's got an injury in these shots where he's kind of bowing. I think that it seems like he's probably bowing to the Seanchan here. This is a shot of him kind of like freaking out. These two obviously seem related to the same scenes. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can see. I don't know that I would say that I see the same kind of damage on his face here, but I get it. It's a night shot or whatever it is here. It's colored this way. It's difficult to see. But this is when he's being pulled. This is that fight where we also see Loial wrapped up in ropes, right? We see him come out later on in episode 8. Not injured. Someone mentioned like even his beard here kind of seems a little bit longer than what we see in this shot in episode 8. And then we have this shot where he's kind of standing. If you recall the shot, he's just standing with the Seanchan when Uno is actually like kneeling in front of the Seanchan.
That's from the upcoming video game, The Wheel of Time, right?
Yes, exactly. It doesn't seem like he's injured in that one either, but again, pretty blurry. So we know, and these aren't all the shots we have of Perrin. We know that obviously he's with the Shinarans. We know we get door draw, right? But you just told us, Joe, that episode 5 is when Loial apparently is standing behind the Seanchan. So are you suggesting that the fight with them happens with the Seanchan where he gets wrapped up in the ropes and Perrin's, clearly caught with the Seanchan? Does that happen before episode 5 or after episode 5?
I would assume before, but this is early, right? This is episode 5. That means that Perrin and them are already like in the Almouth Plain, or
Unless
like around Falme.
Loial's
Someone
separated from them or something. Maybe Loial goes out there, is out there first, and they end up out there later. But yeah, this would be like getting them out there really fast. And that's the question, Brian. Do you think that Perrin he gets captured by episode 5, or there's a fight, then he gets captured and he's like, maybe he's let kind of stay in the area. But I feel like they wouldn't just, I'm trying to remember when they fought like the other armies, when the Shan came in like on the Almouth Plain and they were taking over areas and they would fight. Is there any, do they just let them, once they swear the oaths basically, do they just kind of let even the soldiers kind of walk? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So
he's in some, obviously, Perrin somehow gets entangled with the Shan with the Shinarans. So do you think our order of operations is they get out to Falme by episode 5? They've either at that point been in a fight with them, or they get in a fight later on, and then they stay in Falme until Aviendha shows up? Or is Aviendha with them the entire time and Aviendha doesn't get caught, but Perrin does? Do you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of make sense of this to me.
One of the questions I have is, how confident are we that that's actually from episode 8?
Has
that been confirmed? That picture, that photo?
I mean, they took the descriptions out, right? Or didn't they change the names?
File names
afterwards?
on the Amazon Wheel of Time press site. They had the file names for all of these images, and they all had 205, 203, 201. And then they took them out, I think, when people realized that those are the episode numbers. Mm. And I will also say this: there's in one of the, I think it's the BTS footage. I know I keep saying that, but there's the shot at the end where there's the white cloaks and the Shan fighting, and you see Loial in the background, and he's wearing that same outfit.
Sure. Well, the reason I ask is like the background of that photo with Aviendha and Perrin. That doesn't necessarily look like Falme. Like, it doesn't look like that castle that Rand was in.
I went back and looked at the stone.
Because that brick back there doesn't look the same.
It's close. I did try to see if we find a different one, but this has to be. I mean, he's in Shan armor.
That's true.
He's in Shan armor. So because of that, I didn't catch that part, right?
Just ruined my theory, Matt.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, maybe our next caller has a different idea for us. Let me let them into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hey, it's Thatcher again. How's it going?
It was Thatcher, you said?
That's me.
Okay, Thatcher, welcome.
Senbu. Sorry.
Thatcher, welcome. Okay, so we've talked about a lot tonight. We've zoomed in on a number of images. Do you have, before I ask you the theory you called about, I want to ask you, have you seen all these images where Perrin is, obviously the door drawl image, we know he's with the Shinarans, they're following the horn at some point. And then we see all these images where he's clearly in a battle with the Shan, clearly been captured by the Shan, injured probably during that fight. And then he's obviously kind of free and no longer injured in this episode 8. Do you have any idea how Loial ends up with the Shan in episode 5? Is Loial disconnected from the Perrin and the Shinarans? Does that happen separately in your mind? Or do you think Loial gets mixed with them and then makes it out there with them? And finally, do you think Aviendha and the Aiel meet Perrin and the Shinarans early, but then maybe they separate and then they show back up here? Or do you think they just aren't, stupid enough to get caught in that fight with the Shan? They're the entire time. There you go. I sent you like 7 questions. Tell me what you think.
Well, I have a couple of thoughts there, I guess. Mostly, I'm not sure overall. I feel like probably, as far as like the, bigger fight, I think the shot that we have here with, Perrin and Aviendha next to each other with Massim in the back, that's got to be the end. That's got to be them going into Falme to find Loial and probably Egwene and get out. I figure maybe that fight is probably earlier. Maybe they have some kind of bigger interaction with them, bigger altercation really with the Seanchan before then. Maybe this is around the time, Egwene or anybody gets captured. Maybe they end up somewhat near each other, probably not together, because I don't think that would work. But maybe they could kind of go back and forth between those fights. They've got to pace these things kind of tight together, I suppose.
Okay, you brought up a good point here, which I had forgotten, everyone. The fight with the Seanchan. I mean, when we see Perrin standing there and we see Uno on his knees, the backdrop is kind of like the house looks like it could be in a different place than the fort itself. So I do wonder if the initial kind of battle with the Seanchan happens much further away from Falme, but then they make their way to Falme after the battle with the Seanchan. Then that would make more sense to me how these kind of things happen. So
I think maybe the whole I really like the spy Loial idea. And I think it would work too with this kind of idea where they have an altercation with the Seanchan somewhere else. Maybe that's when Loial gets captured, brought to Falme. They're going in to get Loial with, Aviendha and some of the other Aiel at the same time that Rand has been made aware maybe of Egwene being collared and is going to Falme for sort of the same reason. And we get a bit of a, double sneaking into town, showdown, back and forth.
Yeah, I do like that. That's a good.
Still a heist rescue.
It's a heist rescue. Yeah.
It's like the feel of the end of the Dragon Reborn, where they're all going to Tyr for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I do like that. Yeah,
but it happens in fall. I think that I agree with Thatcher. I think Loial gets captured earlier, and then Perrin and them go to rescue him. That's why Massima's in Seanchan armor. He's like, they probably killed Seanchan. He took the armor. He's going to sneak into the Falme to see what's going on.
Yeah,
I love it.
That would
I like that.
Yeah, this is a great idea. By the way, quick note from Mike. Thank you very much for the tip. Said, can't stay, got to go back to writing, but I want to drop a line and say you guys rock. I'll catch the replay tonight. Lanfear is everyone. Okay, Thatcher. I thank you you waited a long time here. What is the theory you were calling about?
Well, I have kind of two smaller questions, I guess.
Okay, go for it.
Mostly how I have a vague recollection of something that Rafe said way back when, I think it was when they were filming season 2. He was talking something about the sword fights. And I recall him saying that there was a particular room that he was looking forward to us seeing where a big sword fight took place. Okay. And I remember that sticking in my head as probably Turok and Rand. So I'm curious to see how that all kind of plays out. Like if that, maybe I'm making that up. I might be crazy, but I'm curious to see how the Turok fight really does go down. If it's inside as we remember it being in the books, and then, if it is kind of this big showdown at the gates, that we're seeing in the teaser shot.
Yeah, exactly. I do wonder if that's, maybe it begins there, but it goes inside, right?
Maybe he has like a good villain tete-a-tete where he's like, "Oh, I've been expecting you. Come in, let's have a drink, and then I'm gonna stab you." I don't know. I have feelings about it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that one goes on. Okay, yeah, second part. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, where's Min? How do we think Min is fitting into all this?
Damn.
I'm expecting power with the girls, but I have no idea. I would really love to see her any place. Rand runs into her again, very Verin-y. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just really looking forward to seeing.
Man, you just brought up a huge topic. Okay, so I'm going to let you go, but we're going to talk about that topic right after this. So please, obviously stay watching us, and we'll see you back in chat. Thank you for Thatcher for calling in. You brought us the Min conversation, which we have to have here. Have a good evening, and until we talk again, man. Thanks a lot.
See you later, y'all. Thank you.
See ya. Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, you don't see Min in these shots. You get Min from, I think, one of the teasers, sneak peeks, whatever it was. We believe that Min maybe has a shaved head there, possibly with the Seanchan, but we don't see her in any of these. Brian, do you believe Min also ends up in Falme?
Kind of has to. So if we have like kind of the major plot lines, right? We've got Rand, Moiraine, and Lan kind of winding up potentially in Falme together, because we saw that picture of them walking together earlier. And then you've got Avienda, Perrin, Loial together. Where's Nynaeve and where's Men? Well, you're still missing the Egwene angle. So potentially they run into Egwene and Nynaeve, or Nynaeve runs into Men, and then they go try to rescue Egwene potentially.
Okay, I love this. I love it because I had not thought about what you said, Joe, which is they might take the Dragon Reborn ending to get everybody to Falme, right? Like everyone's going there for a different reason, and they just end up all being there. And the idea that Min and Nynaeve are connected into the Egwene one makes a lot of sense, and how and why they'd both be there.
She's the main missing plot line, so kind of everybody else has to go over there.
Yeah, well, I want to point this out. So if you remember, back in the day, everyone, Geekieri posted, I think this is almost a year and a half ago, January 26, 2022, said, Happy Watt Wednesday. In case you missed it yesterday, this was shared in the Dusty Wheels Discord by Al Rosta. This description of Season 2 of The Wheel of Time was part of a survey they did. We can't verify the accuracy of this, so take it with a grain of salt. Here we go. Season 1 tested our core characters and their relationships to each other along their journey to the Eye of the World. It was a coming-of-age story in the most dramatic of circumstances. Season 2 will focus on the next stage of life, finding a place for yourself within the world. Every one of our characters will find themselves isolated from the others at some point in the season and forced to reckon with the darkest sides of themselves. While Season 1 of The Wheel of Time traversed geographic locations, Season 2 will be more grounded in unique locations for longer stretches of time, which, side note, Waygate. That's right. Continues, following after Rand, hiding in the cosmopolitan city of Falme, which I think we can all change now that maybe that was a misdirection. That definitely is Kyrian. So I'm going to read it that way. Following after Rand, hiding in the cosmopolitan city of Kyrian as he tries to fight off madness, unpacking Moraine's life before she became the woman we have grown to know, and watching Egwene and Nynaeve traverse being novices within the politics of the White Tower. Season 2 introduces viewers to the Seanchan who appeared on their ships in the final scene of Season 1, a group of people who are descendants of Arthur Hawkwing, the last man who challenged the female supremacy of the Aes Sedai. These followers have been instructed by their fallen Hawkwing to reclaim their fatherland and burn the White Tower to the ground. The Seanchan tear through the resistance they encounter via leashed female channelers as weapons of war. Through the season, we see all of our characters make their way to the first major city the Seanchan capture, leading up to what could only be a great battle. There you go. So that doesn't sound like it turned out to be wrong. Other than the cosmopolitan city of Falme versus Kyrian, from all the imagery we're seeing, that seems like it was kind of dead on to what we're going to get here. We have all of our characters split up, and we have them all getting back together, which hits on that theory that you just had. Make sure that Min and of Min and probably Nynaeve too, right? Has to make it to Falme, and I like the idea of the Min piece.
Elaine
right?
as well. So right, Min is from right. They changed it and said Min is from Tar Valon. I think they mentioned that in the first season. We see her leaving Faldara at the end. She's probably going back to Tar Valon. So maybe she winds up, with Egwene and them. They could just do exactly what they did in the Great Hunt. They all go with Liandrin, and then they get, there's the big ambush by the Seanchan, and Min and Egwene get captured, possibly.
Yeah, I can see it. And then Nynaeve, and then I can see you put Nynaeve and maybe Min out, I wonder how they're gonna fit all this, because I definitely think this maybe pushes Min towards Tar Valon, maybe instead of Kyrian, for example. I could see Min going back to Tar Valon and then getting connected with all those events that relate back, getting back to Falme. And how they get to Falme? Waygates.
Waygate.
That's right. This is thank you very much. I think
together.
This one is from Innkeeper, my fellow Innkeeper. This is the shot that Thatcher was likely talking about when this was the JordanCon video, I think, from the previous year. If you notice, it does look, we're going to have to do, I'm not sure I totally agree that this is the same courtyard, but maybe. We're going to have to look at this, but that is where he talks about an iconic fight. And so if you want that kind of note from Rafe, I don't have it here. If someone wants me to send me the video link and we have time, we'll show that. Let me bring on our second to last caller. They've been waiting 35 minutes to talk to us. They are so going to be rewarded now because here they are. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
It's Village Mattress.
Village Mattress.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Village Mattress.
It is a live call and talk show. You waited plenty of time to get on here talking to us. What is your theory about the first look images or anything we've said tonight that you want to talk about?
Well, I think that, when you talked about like Uno and Loial and Perrin and, Massima's in the Shan armor, I think they all took the oaths. That's why
Sure.
Massima is in that Shan armor later on. I really would like to see Shora Agladushu be Cadsuane. So that's a theory I'd like to see for season 3. But yeah, it's just been a great show. Actually, everybody's kind of echoed my thoughts. The other callers did. So I don't have a whole lot to add because my thunder got stolen from me.
35 minutes of people steering your thunder. So I have to ask you though, do you agree with this idea that first of all that 2022 synopsis, basically survey of what was going to happen in season 2, about everyone making it to Falme in the end, and that we're getting kind of the Dragon Reborn take on that, if you will. It's just happening in Falme where people have other reasons to be there, and they don't know that they're all going to get there. Right? They're gonna connect, but they didn't know, and that's not why they were on their way there. Do you believe in that idea, that theory?
Well, yeah, because all of those people are also there in the Great Hunt, with the exception of Land and Moiraine. Verin kind of filled that role, so I see that definitely happening the way they've laid it out. Okay, which is very similar to the second book. So
yeah, it makes sense, I think, for them to do it this way. So yeah, I love that theory itself. So Village Mattress, thank you for being on with us. Sorry that everyone stole your thunder here, but yeah, these are the kind of shows I look forward to having for the next 3 months as we build up to the show itself. This is the fun. This is the fun for me, at least. So it's awesome to hear your voice, man. Thank you for holding on just to say hi, and that you are appreciating the show itself, and look forward to hearing from you again and seeing you soon. Have a good one.
Okay. Thanks,
See you
Matt.
soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Village Mattress, everyone. It's awesome always to hear from Chris. I'm going to end this poll. About 150 who voted on this one. Does the fight with the Shan where Perrin is captured happen away from Falme? 57% said yes. 43% said no. People don't agree tonight. That's right. I want to ask this. Do you agree with the theory that everyone will have their own reason to go to Falme? Well, that's kind of a stupid question. I don't like it. I'm not going to ask it. Okay. Decided against that poll question, everyone. Timestamp is 22 seconds. Thank you very much, Innkeeper. Let's quickly watch what Rafe had to say, because why not? Oh, Rafe's talking. Rafe, hold on, Rafe. 1 second, everybody. Let me back. Okay. Here we goes. Let me increase the volume.
We're actually still shooting season 2 of Wheel of Time here in Morocco. I'm on set right now, and there's actually a pretty iconic fight scene from the books being rehearsed right around that corner. I don't think Amazon is going to let us turn that camera and show it to you, but you'll see it on your TV screens sometime soon. Because we can't be there, we've tried to gather some of the creative team.
He said
actors,
right around that corner. Okay. Maybe now I can
questions.
believe that is the courtyard.
Give you some information about what.
So if you look at that, just back to his right shoulder, I could see that being the entryway into the courtyard. That's I would believe that. So I was looking at the courtyard. I was just looking where he was sitting itself, and it didn't look like it. But he's the iconic fight behind me, around the corner. So I'm a bit more of a believer now in that. Thatcher, good call, man, and Innkeeper on us. Thank you so much for finding that for us. It was nice to kind of see that. It was funny that happened like a year. What is it? That was a while back when they posted that thing about season 2. We're already covering season 3 news.
That was Jordan Con 2021, wasn't it? Or was it
2022.
2022? Okay,
Yeah.
2022.
That was 2022. So iconic fight scene. What a good call out by Thatcher. Nicely done. Any other major kind of theories? We have one caller left. We'll bring them in here shortly. Any other things that kind of came out of those images you want to talk about? I have a couple more, but I want to throw it to you two. Brian, was there a theory from the first look photos that you wanted to discuss?
Well, my theory got busted. So I don't know if I have any other good ones. There is a fun theory. It's like a loony theory.
Okay.
That you might like, that other people were talking about earlier in the week or last week, which is that each of the first look photos is actually people reacting to or thinking about Egwene being collared by the Shanshan. So Perrin's like woof face is because he sees Egwene like collared, and then Rand is a Jedi thing is like he sees Egwene being collared, and and they're all just reactions to like Egwene in the kitchen. It's just her thinking, I wonder what it would like to be collared, and that's
she's having a vision.
Yeah.
I do.
And then Nynaeve's like, I just came out of this thing, and you'll never guess what I saw. That's the whole thing.
This is an amazing. Well, I love it because it's a fun way to see them actually taking a little bit more time to tell us or give us the right photos. And then Ishamael, what you're saying is Ishamael and the Shanshan are just walking kind of casually.
They're walking there to
we
get,
did that.
They just captured Egwene, so she's in the back, and they're just on their way out. Yeah.
How about you, Joe? Do you have theories?
And then
from
Lan on the horse, he's like, "Oh my God, she's captured."
The Lan on the horse one,
Van
yeah.
Dark's face is totally thinking
His face,
about.
he's horrified to see Egwene come. So,
yeah. What are your thoughts?
The Nynaeve photo, right? That's the accepted test chamber, right? That's the same chamber we saw in the Jordan Con 2023 video, right?
Look at you. See, you said we didn't plan this, but I had this right up there as you were.
and that's what I wanted to talk about. Not so much Nynaeve's accepted test, but Egwene, right?
Yeah, Egwene test 2. This is a good question. Novices together at Tar Valon. Was Verin sent by Moiraine to bring them to Tar Valon? Before we jump to Egwene being tested, do you like this theory that we're going to get the Verin sent me idea, but it actually is Verin bringing, like Verin sent her, Moiraine sent her to go bring Nynaeve and Egwene to the White Tower?
if they don't have the line "Moiraine sent me," uttered by Verin, we will riot.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good opportunity to use it.
They will have
I
done
think.
a grave disservice to the story if they leave that out. So yeah, I think that's certainly plausible.
Joe, I feel like it'd be a really interesting way to start. Like they're back, they walk, right? That would be a really fun kind of episode 1 scene where Verin walks in, and then we see their horses kind of come in behind her. And we're like, oh my gosh, they're back in Tar Valon, and who is this, right? And then they dive immediately into the politics, but they're not already there. I feel like at least for me, I feel like it'd be a little bit rushed if we go from the end of the last book to like, they're already in a class somewhere in Tar Valon. I don't know. Is that the same for you too? Do you feel like it's too rushed to start them already doing stuff in the White Tower?
How do you end the season with Loial and Uno looking like they're dead, and then they're just all of a sudden they're fine?
That's true. Okay, that's going to be a little bit odd for everybody. Let me ask our chat people that are still with us here. Thanks for everyone sticking around. And our last caller's like, when are you letting me in? Do you think the show will start for... do you think we'll see Nynaeve and Egwene for the first time already in the White Tower doing stuff?
So I think there will be a time skip at the beginning, and I don't necessarily think you'll see Perrin and Loial like totally fine at the beginning of the second season. They'll be recovering but the girls would have already left to go to Tar Valon.
Yeah, I think they
Moiraine
have
can't
to.
heal the guys because she's shielded or whatever that is.
Yeah.
So
I'm still on. I still think that scene of Swan coming out of the carriage or whatever. I think that's her showing up at Faldara.
Okay,
I'm
so
still. No one agrees
I
with
like
me on
that.
that, but I think Swan goes to Faldara and she's the one, and Verin could be with them. And she brings the girls back.
It wouldn't be as satisfying to me if it was Swan, although it's pretty book close. What I mean is, I love the idea because we're obviously not gonna get Verin with Perrin and Moiraine sent. We're not gonna get that sequence, right? Like not with where Matt's at and Rand's at.
No.
It kind of is hard to believe. Like we're not. The Search for the Horn kind of. I was a little bit like when the Wheel of Time account put like the Great Hunt begins or something. I was like, what Great Hunt? I was like, maybe you should have sold us on that in season 1. That would have been useful.
Looney theory, Loial is actually dead, and that Loial was Lanfear.
That is definitely what's happening.
Like the rest of the series, it's just Loial. Whenever he shows up, he's just a random Forsaken in disguise.
Lanfear as Loial is a good theory.
So-
So this is a good. Oh, did you want to? Are you ready for
No,
this?
I
or you
wanted to
want
ask.
statement?
I
Okay,
wanted to
yeah.
ask. What are your thoughts on Egwene's accepted test? Are we getting an accepted test from Egwene?
I think we are. I think the first look photo of her in the kitchen is her being like, "This is my life. This sucks. I want to go on an adventure." And she comes out of the test. It's like, oh, "Let's do it." That's what I think happens.
I feel like you have to, right? Like, you can bring Egwene back to the tower to get the test to just kick her out again. You can. I just don't see it for television in 8 episodes. If they give us 8 episodes,
Yeah.
right?
My-
8 episodes of television, and you're going to have Egwene go back to the tower just basically for the testing. No, I feel like you're going to introduce Verin right now. You're going to have to cover some dreaming aspects of this. That it only makes sense. You see Verin in the White Tower, Egwene, ring, dreaming, testing.
Yeah.
Like obviously we're going to get Nynaeve's testing there, but I think it makes the most sense. I listened to your podcast, Joe. I disagree that it doesn't matter her just being a novice.
Thank you. My co-hosts are crazy.
I think your co-hosts are crazy. It does matter. I think she has to. Will we see all the testing between both of them? I can see them kind of flickering back and forth between the two of them. Perhaps maybe that's what they're giving us, but I'm not a believer in the Egwene. They bring Egwene back. I know they've talked about having the same set in season 3, so I could totally be wrong. Maybe they do. Maybe they find a good way to segue that. But how do you get Egwene back out to Rhuidean after you go take her back? I don't know. Like
Unless it's a
taking away
cold
that?
open flashback. That's the only way they could do it. It's like you don't see
Yeah.
her test in this season. Like she goes through it, but you don't see it
Okay,
until
yeah.
next season. That's
Yeah,
the only way I
actually,
see it happening.
That's my real
could
theory,
accept that.
which is that the if we see an Egwene test, it'll be a flashback or it'll be some sort of dream sequence where she's having a nightmare about it.
Mhm.
That's what I think. Because we sort of get the dream sequence or the accepted dream sequence at the finale of season 1, because that whole like I'm with Rand and I have a baby
Sure.
and I'm on the farm, like that's basically what she sees in the accepted test.
Yeah.
And so we may not get it because they kind of already used that shtick, and they'd have to come up with something different to tell that you don't want to have the same sequence again.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, how about this? I only agree that she'll be tested in the tower in season 3 if they're taking out the whole sequence of Egwene being trained by the Aiel. You taking away Egwene's training in ter'angreal, and you have to ask yourself, like, does that ruin her arc? This is one of those essential. We need to do essential Egwene. Have we done essential Egwene, Brian?
We have
I can't
not done
remember.
essential Egwene.
This is a good question for us because you could, right? If you take that story arc out, just send Rand.
Well,
out
don't
there,
spoil the
basically.
podcast.
Oh, sorry. Almost spoil.
It's a huge part of Egwene's story.
I love that. This is when chat gets
It's
all
a
pissed
very big part of her story.
off. By the way, yes, Village Mattress, you are wrong. The Dusty Wheel. Okay, so I want to end this poll here. About 132 voted. Do you think Nynaeve and Egwene, for the first time, you think will Nynaeve? No one did people point out this was a Dusty Wheel poll? I don't know if they. Do you think will Nynaeve and Egwene for the first time already in the White Tower doing stuff is not a good poll? Everybody, did I miss it? Did I miss chat like laughing at the poll? If you missed the fact that this was a Dusty Wheel poll, you are also so in deep into the Dusty Wheel you just didn't notice. You guys filled in the dots of the poll as it should happen. Let me end that. 62% of you answered whatever that poll meant.
I'm still not sure what that means, but
Light Blinded Fool said I mentioned it. Okay, that's acceptable. Let's bring who will probably be our last caller. Someone did sneak in. They obviously knew the number to call. Because I took the number down a while back and they snuck in 9 minutes ago. We'll see if we get to them or not. I got to end the show to go meet my wife to do run an errand in about 10 minutes. I got to leave in about 10 minutes. So we have about 10 minutes left, everybody, and I got to end the show. So I'm going to bring our last caller in. We'll finalize a couple things. I'm going to show you a little bit of geekery that I did right before, and then we'll have to end this. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
It's Jen Sadai, Jaws 21.
Jen! It's good to hear your voice. Thank you for holding on and being what will likely be our last caller of the evening. What is the theory you're calling about?
Okay, well, I have also been all of my theories have been talked about mostly, except that you've completely thrown all of my theories out the window with this last conversation about the testing.
Okay.
Because I've always said like from a story standpoint and from a filmmaking standpoint that it's such a double beat to have the girls leave the tower twice, that they would only leave the tower in season 2 and they would combine that somehow and they're not going to go back. But then Rafe's whole comment of like, we'll be back in the chamber, like you said, for the beginning of season 3 or for just a little bit. I was like, well, what does that mean? Are we going back? So earlier tonight I was like, yep, we're definitely going back to season 3 because Min's going to be at the White Tower first. They all go to Falme just like they do with Liandrin. And then I was like, okay, they'll go back for season 3 because Elaine and Egwene will do their testing and then they take off after the Black Aja. And then Min's back at the White Tower so she can leave with Swan and Leanne after the coup. But then you just blew it out of the water. You're like, no, there's no way we're going back. And if they kill Egwene's training with the Aiel, that will be my revolt.
That'll be that's the moment.
I agree.
That's the moment,
that
Jen.
Is my camel breaking.
Well, I guess my point is it just doesn't. You're gonna have to get Rand to Rhuidean in season 3. You're gonna get book 4, right? Yeah. Book 4 is season 3. Yeah. We've been told repeatedly. We're going back to we have Lord Luke, right? Like we're gonna get that sequence. We're gonna get the Aiel. Rand has to make it out there. Yeah. There is not time to get Egwene back to the White Tower in season 3 and out to see the Aiel to be part of that. I just, it would be really, really, it's asking a lot where it's like, what does she run back to the tower in episode 1 and then she immediately gets tested. And then in episode 2, it's like the Swan is like, you're going to go find the Black Aja among the Aiel. I don't know what it's like again, like what, how is, or she's going to have a dream when she's there. Maybe in her testing, she's going to see the Aiel or something. And then a letter's going to arrive at the White Tower and it's going to tell her like, she's supposed to report to, she's supposed to report to the Aiel Waste or something. I don't know. It's kind of, it's not believable to me. Yeah. So,
I agree.
Well, it's not believable to you.
Sorry, what did you say, Jen?
Just that it is a lot of shoe leather. And so, well, now I'm going with, okay, so wait, I can't remember if Joe O'Brien said it, that is there a theory going around that she stays, and Joe, I apologize, I don't think I listened to your last show, that she stays a novice and she never becomes accepted?
My co-hosts were tossing that about on our episode. They were like, why does she have to take an accepted test? And I'm like, she can't become, I was like, that she has to take some sort of test. I don't think they'll skip her test.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of the mind now of like, maybe all of those things that happen in her test that we see, that we are all the foreshadowing, comes in dreams. I mean, why do it twice? So maybe she's just dreaming and we get all that stuff in the dreams. Like you said, we got some of it with Rand already and the baby. So maybe she stays a novice and maybe that's even more like really compelling for her story, that she's never actually
She's like the high school dropout that found Facebook and becomes a bajillionaire.
It's totally.
What about the ring, the Aes Sedai rings?
You can buy those at a
Well, we
trinket
don't
shop
know
down
for
the
sure
street.
what that-
I,
Or you Tar Valon
Exactly.
box.
I see this.
Can you make this for me?
Rapunzel in chat said, they're only there for about a week in The Dragon Reborn. Look, they can do it. I just don't think it, I think you have to, the whole quick arrival, quick testing, quick get out of there, back to the IO waste. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what they're doing. But why wouldn't you just fit it in? They're both novices in the tower. They're both novices in the tower. They both have had kind of channeling experience. They both gone through the same experiences. Yes. Why, if you're going to give Nynaeve, why wouldn't you put...
Do you know how long Luke Skywalker and Han Solo were on Hoth in the movies? They were only on the movie for like 15 minutes. And then they went off to another planet. I think there's plenty of time to send Egwene to the tower for a test.
By the way, it's another split vote. Over 100 of you voted on this. For those of you sticking around, will Egwene return to the White Tower in season 3 for her testing? 56% say yes. So I don't look. We're split about all these questions tonight, which I love it. That's better than everyone just agreeing on the same theory.
It's awkward. I think you don't even have to show the whole test either. Like you said, we kind of got some of her accepted test at the end of season 1. You don't have to show the whole entire thing. You could show all of Nynaeve's and then maybe show only 1 or 2 parts of Egwene's, and then maybe hold one of the parts back for a flashback in season 3.
Yeah.
Good compromise, Joe.
I don't like her not taking the test at all. I don't like that. I know you can get around it, but I just don't like it. Sorry.
Oh, well, if you don't like it.
I need that. I'm the meme with the guy. Egwene takes the accepted test. Change my mind.
There you go.
I'm gonna end this, and thank you so much for calling in, Jen. It's awesome to hear your voice. Appreciate you waiting around, and we'll chat with you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for a great show.
Bye, Jen.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, I have 5 minutes here. So I started the raffle really quick. I'm going to end that raffle. Hopefully you had a chance to join here. That's right, everyone. Taylor's done a good job of setting this up for me. 52 of you entered, so you have a good chance to win tonight, everybody. So our winner of the raffle is... I think that is Huron's best friend. Yes, congratulations to Huron's best friend. You are the winner of the Dusty Swag. That's right. I'm going to send you a gift certificate for $25 to the store, where you can simply go buy what you would like. A mug, a shirt, whatever it is you'd like. And I want to point out that that is all you have to do is just jump over to Discord, send me an email, or send me a text or a direct message, and sometime in the next 4 weeks, I will get that email sent out. Look, life is busy. I am surprised I had time tonight to do this, but I did send out at least one of those the other day, I think, for the show that I did a couple weeks back. So they are coming, but they are a little bit delayed. We have 4 minutes left. Congrats again. Ask if you need help. I want to show this image. I have to show this image because I did the research, everyone. It didn't turn out to actually be anything, and that's okay. Sometimes you just do the research because you have to know. So this one, I didn't zoom in to see anyone's eye reflection, although maybe Lan's, I wonder if Lan does have an eye reflection of whatever he's looking at. I'm going to have to look. But that's not what we're talking about, although it does have to do with Lan's photo, everyone. Here you go. So I had to look at this image because it's just a beautiful image, first of all. And it immediately reminded me of, I think, this image.
Ooh.
So I lightened this image
Sleepy
up
Hollow.
and gave it more saturation so you could see. What you do notice is there is some green in the trees behind that. Maybe these are kind of dead here because there are some bushes there. This area where the riding is happening, I tried to see if some of these trees would match up. No luck there. But what do you think, Joe? Do you think these two forests and these two images are related? That he is following whoever's on the horse?
So those are European Eastern beech tree. No, I'm just kidding. No, I have no idea what kind of trees those are. Yeah, is that what he's looking at? Is he looking at whatever's? It's a different time of day, though, right? Or is it? It's just
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
like
tough.
night
It
with
is
the
because
blue
this
light.
image, yeah, you can tell there's looks like to be a cage up in the here, like they're putting a light on this person as they're riding through. This actually looks
Is that
like-
Nynaeve riding through the portal out of the accepted test chain?
Oh,
that's an interesting-
Brian.
That's
The
a
way
good theory.
comes but once.
Oh, and he's following her because she's like, no, I can't. Must leave. And he's like, don't leave me. And she disappears and they get a shot.
Haven't you seen Bridgerton? We're supposed to fall in love.
Exactly.
I like this.
I'm going to ask
So
this last question.
maybe
Are
that is
these
the same
images
scene.
related?
Yeah, maybe it is the same scene. She's just riding into a portal, and it makes that light is making everything else look dark.
I want to hear you both do voiceovers for this again, though. That's good.
Totally. Yeah. So this was a fun. Like I said, you can tell if you zoom, looks like there's a cage up here, and they're actually pushing a light out to kind of really shine that area as this person's going through. As you can tell, it looks like it's probably during the day, but they darkened it, graded it to make it look like it's happening at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to look. I didn't see an exact connection, but I would not be surprised if both of those images are related.
I like that.
Miss Sarah James says Nynaeve is tracking Moiraine by her towel.
That's definitely what's happening.
The big light is a towel. Yeah.
I think that's true. Okay, you two, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you go check out Barside Chats, the podcast.
Woo!
Yes. Brian and I have been back making some episodes talking all about the Wheel of Time. With the show coming out, we'll be doing some more Essentials episodes. You'll hear more from Barside Chats. And we will both be at WatCon if you're going to be there. Joe, you're
Right.
going to WatCon too, right?
3 months.
Yeah,
All three
I'll
of
be
us
there.
will be at
1 month.
WatCon. There you go. How long? Like 6 weeks or something to WatCon?
Yeah, like 6 weeks.
45 days or something like that. 44 days.
And make sure you check out, obviously, Riyadh. They're always covering the news every week, and they have been well fed by Watt Series
Yes.
and the Wheel of Time recently.
Thank you,
So,
Watt Series.
Baby.
and make sure you're back here next Wednesday. We love doing these. The show's coming out sooner, and Trailer Guide-On's coming up. So go buy some cough drops just so you can, I think it's just like as a nod to the fact that I'll be eating cough drops basically the entire time. And get ready for what should be a fun dive like this was. This was what, 2 hours? It's just 6 times this. It's about the same. So that's it, everyone. Please, Hurin's best friend, please reach out. And you can DM me on Twitter. That totally works, and that's fine. And congratulations. We didn't get to everything, but it was a fun journey. And as we
There are
say
no
around
beginnings or
here,
endings.
that's what we say. No beginnings or endings. And good night from the
Just
Dusty Wheel.
eyeballs.
Smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're already. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
out
one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
Sad.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
it does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Turok, like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like
This
all
is
of a
not
sudden,
just
it's like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a
for
moment
those that are
ago,
kind of interested.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guests in here with me. And
Probably, I would say, put in 70-80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,